This season, we're taking a home that was outdated and barely functional and turn it into our client's dream home. One of the things we got to do before we can do anything else is pick our appliances.
Goes from the corner out about 5-6 feet on either side of it, looks like.
And look at how they eat those trails into that wood.
Smile. You woke up in Texas. One of the fastest growing states in the country. Meet Jim Dutton.
Tools make the job. It ain't a good day till we tear something up.
Contractor and syndicated radio show host.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Along with the Texas Home Improvement team.
Oh, look how beautiful it is.
Here to show you how to get the job done right and protect you from out-of-state bootleg contractors.
And that's what you get when you hire a bootleg contractor.
This is Texas Home Improvement.
All right, we got our plan set. And $100,000, that sounds like a huge budget, but once we start demoing here and we open up the walls and see what's behind there, that's where we can hit those budget busters, the dreaded change orders. Now, hopefully we're not gonna have anything major to deal with here, but we really won't know until we tear something up. Just like we say on the radio show, it ain't a good day till we tear something up. It's time to get started on the demo. You know, so often what you see on the reality shows on TV when they're redoing a house is they come in with sledgehammers and let the homeowner beat everything apart. That's not reality. This is reality. It's precisionally removed piece by piece so you're not damaging other parts and don't have to pay repair bills to put things back together. I understand it looks great, but this is how it's actually done. Okay, now that we got this wall opened up, you can actually see how opening everything is going to change the dynamics and the flow of the house. All right, we got everything gutted out of the kitchen, but you know, putting everything back together, that's a well-orchestrated dance. And one of the things we got to do before we can do anything else is pick our appliances, because you got to have the right dimension of the appliance before you can build the cabinets. So let's head over to Gold Star Appliance and Lighting. Now this is a family-owned business, been here for over 50 years, 3 generations. Much like my family business, they take care of their customers. And so we're gonna go over and tap into their knowledge to make sure we get the right appliances for the project we're working on. Hey Taylor, how are you today?
Hey Jim, good, thanks for coming in.
Well, what do you got for us for appliances?
Well, I've done some thinking and we've got some great appliances over here in the thermidor room and a gas cooktop I'd like to start with.
Oh, well, let's go take a look.
Perfect.
So there's an option here electric versus gas.
Yes, so it's almost like a dual fuel option. You get an oven or range that you would think of, but instead it's on your cooktop, and that's a really cool thing. This all comes apart and you can actually see it. And
Okay.
you have that option. This also comes off to clean, which is awesome for a griddle because a lot of griddles that are aluminum are built in, and so you can't take them off to clean. It's not an easy cleaning process, but this is. You just pull it off and clean it.
Removable tray. Now
Yes.
that makes it nice.
Yes, and a lot of the competitors don't have that, and this right here is make or break it for a griddle. You've got all your grease coming, you're making bacon, and you can actually clean it without having to clean this pan out itself.
So, knobs. I mean, this is like turning on my gas grill outside for cooking
Yes, it is.
steaks. I mean,
Exactly, you're exactly right. So on each one of these knobs, you have the option to have your high burn, which is your 18,000 BTUs, and then you can actually go all the way down to a low simmer. And what's great is that in this type of product, you don't see this low simmer option
Right.
like this, where you can actually go down to a minuscule amount just to keep something warm. And it even has a flame where it's pulsating, so it's keeping things consistently warm, cold, so it's not overheating them to burn them.
Ah,
So
okay.
all of these low options have that extremely low simmer.
so what do we got for an oven to go with it?
So for an oven to go with it, we'll step over here and check this out. We've got a single drop down Bosch.
Okay.
So we'll check that out.
Here's some stuff you need to know.
One of the most common questions we get about Ready Seal is, what is it going to look like on my specific project? And that's a great question, but the answer is a little bit complicated, and here's why. Because Ready Seal is a stain and sealer and not a paint, while it does color the wood, it also brings out some of the natural characteristics of each individual piece of wood. So from project to project and from different pieces of wood, there's going to be subtle differences that are going to show up. But we still wanted to try to answer that question and give you a really great jumping off point for picking the right stain for your project. So here's what we did. Behind me, we have 3 displays. This first display is dark walnut, and the different applications we have are pressure treated fence wood and decking. We have cedar fence wood and cedar decking, white fence pickets, and then an old fence wood that has been bleached and brought back to life and then stained with Ready Seal. Now you're going to notice in each of these applications, even though this is all pressure treated wood, there's different characteristics that are brought out in the different pieces of wood. There's slightly different shades, slightly different colors that show up. Same story here with the cedar. The different pieces of wood, they don't all look the exact same. And you're going to see it continues with the white wood here. And this is a great example where you can really see some differences, and that's just because of the specific characteristics of this piece of wood. One thing to note about the old fence wood is that Ready Seal is going to soak in a lot more into the wood, and it's going to come out in a darker shade. That's just going to be the reality for all of these applications.
So what do we got here?
So Jim, this is a speed oven, and then also a single oven underneath. So whenever you get one of these, the coolest part about it is that you're really getting 2 ovens and a microwave all in one piece.
Okay, so a speed oven is a microwave oven combined?
It's combined, it actually heats up. It gives you all kinds of mechanisms. You can go from making popcorn like you would in a normal microwave, but you can even make a pizza. And it's not gonna be the squishy pizza that you're used to making in a microwave. You don't need the tin foil around it like those microwave pizzas. It actually makes a nice crunchy pizza like you'd get in an oven. So it's a great addition to a kitchen, and it takes away that pain of a lot of our customers that don't know if they want a built-in microwave and a double oven, or if they want to have both. This is a great middle ground. They like to say you can even cook a chicken in it if you wanted to.
Little chicken.
A little chicken, not a big chicken,
Yeah.
but a little chicken.
But if we're cooking a big chicken or a turkey, then we got the oven.
Yes. You got the regular oven, it matches your speed oven. There's actually a trim piece that goes in between these to make them look flush, and it's a really beautiful unit together. And then this particular oven has your convection, your self-cleaning, all that good stuff, and it keeps it really simple here in front of you. It's not overdone, it's not a huge computer system with a bunch of bells and whistles. It gives you everything you need, but it's just very clean and it matches your range top.
It says Wi-Fi on it. What's the Wi-Fi?
The Wi-Fi is awesome, so it gives you the capability to heat it, to do all that good stuff, turn it off from your phone, and it's all Wi-Fi compatible.
So does that mean I can be on the way home, turn the oven on, so when I get there I can just shove something in it?
Yes, that's exactly what it means. It's supposed to make your life easier. That's the goal for the Wi-Fi.
Well, Taylor, tell us about is it refrigerator or refrigerator?
It's refrigerator.
Okay.
It is refrigerator. You can call it a fridge. We're in Texas. That's most people call it, right? So this refrigerator is unbelievable. It's brand new on the market. So this refrigerator has the Farm Fresh system, and what that does is it actually keeps your food fresh longer. That was the goal of this refrigerator. They spent tons of money trying to figure out how to do that best for their customers, and they succeeded.
How do they do that?
So it actually has 2 compressors, and what those compressors do is they're able to keep the humidity separate in different portions of the refrigerator, from refrigeration to freezer. So having those 2 compressors gives you the opportunity to actually change the humidity over if you have fruits, vegetables, beverages.
Okay, I noticed the water dispenser is inside.
Yes, you do. So that's a really cool thing. It saves you a lot of space not having it in the doorway, especially if you have a counter depth. A counter depth is made to look a little bit more built in. And so by putting this in the left-hand side of the refrigerator, you're able to fill up a water bottle if you'd like, or you can push down and fill up the cup. It's a super simple way, and it's actually vacuum sealed. And then we also have the freezer section, which I think is fantastic. When you're filling up coolers and taking care of friends and family, all you have to do is take this pan out. This is the pan that'll normally fill up with ice, and it has a sensor on the top, so when this pan fills up to the top with ice, it'll stop filling. You take this out, you can use it to serve your ice on the countertop, and this entire pan will actually fill with ice. And you also have a 3rd drawer. It looks like you might not have a ton of space in here, but you really do with this 3rd drawer. It gives you a lot more access and a lot of ability to put, we have 2 pizza boxes in here, and there's still more space. So it really is a great unit.
So what'd you pick for a dishwasher for us?
So on your unit, you'll have 3 baskets, and in those 3 baskets, you have separate turning heads on each one, just to give you maximum water.
Well, most dishwashers only have 2.
True, they only have 2. So you'll have one on each one of these baskets in here. It also comes with a stainless steel barrel. All wash come with the stainless steel barrel, and it's a great additive because that plastic really has been, kind of a no-go. That's what everyone's used to, is the plastic.
Right, and that's why they're used to replacing the dishwasher every 5 years.
It really is a great unit. It has a lot of extra capabilities. All of them come with multiple capabilities, and that really is standard in Bosch to have all these heat cycles. You have a European drying cycle, and their drying is unreal, really, when it comes to glass.
Now this looks like it has a taller tub than a regular dishwasher.
It does. It does. They do a really good job of keeping everything really streamlined on these portions, so you don't see them gapping out as far as they used to. And that's just because they've changed heating elements, things are thinner, and they've streamlined the process. There's also, on most of their dishwashers, this awesome capability of just popping this off. It's really not hard to do.
Right.
And the great thing about that is around Thanksgiving, once a year, right?
Yep.
You have to clean this huge turkey pan. Here you can pull this off, you can still run your system and everything, and you can put a much larger pan in it and still run that disinfectant if you want to.
Well, it sounds like we're lined out on appliances. So
It sounds like it. I'm so glad you came in.
Now we just got to get things built out and ready to put them in.
Yes, and specifications are the next part of this. I'll send you specs on every single appliance because I know that they're going to come with the cabinetry.
Well, and that's why we needed to do appliances now, because now we've got our cabinets being made, because that's a 3 to 5 week ordeal, and we got to make sure we got all the right sizes.
Here's some stuff you need to know.
The second display is natural cedar. Again, we have pressure-treated fencing, pressure-treated deck, cedar fencing, cedar decking, whitewood, and your old fence that has been refurbished. And again, you can see there's different tones and different colors that come out in the different pickets. And I think for me personally, I like that because it means you're really getting some of that natural tone and natural characteristics of the wood. But it does create some variety. And the last display is the pecan color stain. Again, you have your pressure treated cedar, white fencing, and old fence wood. Your cedar decking and your pressure treated decking. And as you can see, it's the same story in this application as well. It's a beautiful color. It brings out the natural characteristics of each piece of wood. There is a certain amount of uniformity. They don't look completely different. It doesn't look out of place. So it looks great, but there is the subtle differences. There's a little bit of unique characteristics of each piece of wood. So that's why when you ask, what is it going to look like? Well, it's going to look kind of like this, but also it's going to take on the specific characteristics of whatever wood you're using for your project. So hopefully this helps with picking the right stain for your project. But like I said, your project is going to look uniquely yours.
All right, the demo work is done. They did run into a couple issues. Jason gave me a call, so we're gonna have to head inside, see what's going on, and see what we're gonna have to do to get it taken care of. Well, Jason, looks like you guys are coming along great. You're scraping off what's left on the floors. All the sheetrock and stuff is out, and you know, when I was over here before, we had an issue with this area in that there was a pretty good bow in the wall. Now with all the sheetrock off, we can see what's going on.
Yes, we can. Somewhere along the line, they had cut the structure going from the floor to the ceiling on either end here. And that has created an opportunity for the wall to kind of do a bow. And
now when you cut this stud that runs up to the top, you lost the integrity of the wall, so it allowed it to kick a little bit. So how are we gonna fix it?
well, we are going to remove this post here, which we have to do anyway for the new layout. We can remove one or two of these here and continue all the way to the top plate. And since it's just visual, we can fur out this wall to make it more aesthetically appealing.
Perfect, and it don't cost a fortune to do all that then.
Exactly.
Well, I understand we found some termites.
We do, let's go take a look. We got the paneling off yesterday afternoon, and my guys alerted me to the termite damage, which you can
they get
see.
into that sheetrock paper and they like to travel.
They do. And it appears, this isn't too bad here, but you can see on the bottom plate here that
There is no plate.
it is completely eaten away.
Yeah.
And it goes from the corner out about 5-6 feet on either side of it, looks like.
And look at how they eat those trails into that wood.
Totally destroyed.
Yep. So got a little into the studs there, but you know, it appears on the sides it looks pretty good still. So is that solid still?
Well, we'll take the rest of the sheetrock off and see how far they've traveled up here.
Okay.
We've already taken the sheetrock off going down the wall, and we've discovered they come pretty much down the bottom plate. All these studs look pretty good, so we will have to replace this bottom plate with new green plate out to where the wood is still solid.
Okay. And you said with green plates, so you're going back with treated?
Treated, yes sir.
Gotcha. All right.
Hey Jim, there's one more thing I wanted to show you with the hot water heater.
Okay, let's take a look.
All right. So we were shutting the water off, preparing for demo, and opened the closet door and noticed a very old hot water heater.
Yep.
There's no pan, and it'd be a shame to do all of this remodel and have a hot water heater fail on us.
Well, and that's the reason codes have changed to pans to catch water instead of flooding the house. And on top of that, it's turned up as hot as it gets, so they're probably burning through all kinds of sediment just to keep the hot water heater going. It's time for a new one.
Yeah, I think we should recommend it to the homeowner.
Absolutely. All right, Jason, well, we're in the kitchen area here that is being expanded, and we're gonna have a new pantry and new office over there. This is a support wall.
Yes, sir.
So how are we gonna address taking out the support wall?
In order to take that out, we're gonna have to use a temporary supports to support the wall when we remove, to support the ceiling when we remove this wall. And then we will have to put in a laminated veneer beam up in the attic that will be flush and hidden to take that support.
Okay, and a laminated beam. Explain real quick to everybody what that is.
So what that is it's engineered for this purpose, and it's a bunch of thin layers that are glued together and pressed together to create a very strong structural beam.
Yeah, basically what it does, instead of having a single piece or even 2 or 3 layers of wood that run all the way through that can start sagging over time, it's got fibers that are all woven together, glued together, and it keeps it rigid so it doesn't get a sag in it later, because we're running a pretty good span here, 19, 20 feet.
Yep, that's right. Yep, they're very strong.
Jason, this is the room that was kind of added onto the house where we dealt with the wall issue, but we got an issue in the bottom part of it as well.
We do.
In that there's an elevation problem here.
Yep, the added on part is about 3/4 inch or an inch higher than the existing.
Okay, so we're gonna chip down or float out?
Well, the existing kind of slopes down towards us, so what we'll do is just float out to where it has the same height out in the room.
Yeah, most everything back this way will be hidden. This is where the doorway is going to be, which happens to be the worst spot.
Right.
But that should, floating it out should be fine. We also have an issue where we've had some moisture coming in, and when we went outside, the ground's higher than the wall, so we're going to have to do a little bit of landscape changing as well.
That's right. That exterior soil will have to be removed away from the wall to prevent water damage and moisture damage.
Now, one thing they're going to have to be careful of when they do that is that they don't just make a trough back there, because a lot of times people will just remove a foot or two in the water ponds and make the problem worse. You got to change the whole drainage and slope it away, or people will have issues. And I know you're not doing that, but when the homeowner gets that taken care of.
He'll have a fun day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you're getting bids for doing your remodel job. Some of the things you gotta be aware of when you start getting ready to pull a wall out or something, if there's plumbing on one side of that wall, that means there's pipes in the wall. And if your contractor tries to come back to you and tell you, hey, we didn't know there was pipes in the wall, ask them, how can there not be pipes when there's plumbing on the other side? A good contractor is gonna know there's something here that's gonna have to be addressed. And when you're moving this much plumbing, it needs to be addressed by a licensed plumber, not by a Jake leg who doesn't know what they're doing. The other thing, when you're pulling down fur downs, you always gotta be looking for the unexpected. Now in this particular case, somebody got a little bit lazy and didn't go through the plate with the vent pipe. They actually shot it into the fur down. It's easily moved, but it does have to be addressed.
Next week on Texas Home Improvement.
All right, as you can see, it's probably not a great day to be working outside, but we got a lot of work going on inside, and I just stopped by to see how the progress is going. We've now put the integrity back into this wall where it's going to take the load and keep this house looking good for years to come. Hey, got a question during the week? Go to our website, thipro.com, and click on the Ask Jim button. If you're looking for a great contractor, one that'll treat you fair and get the job done right, go to thipro.com and take a look at the contractors in your area that I've already checked out. Don't forget to listen to Texas Home Improvement every Saturday and Sunday right here in Houston on News Talk 740 KTRH. Well, that's it for today, but why don't you make plans to come out and join us at the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo, or at Collin County something or other. Collin County what? Well, that's it for today. We're doing our final cleanup, but you know what? Why don't you join us out at the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo, or you can come on up to the Collin County Home and Garden Show taking place at the Allen Center. Was that right? Well, that's it for today. But why don't you make plans to join us out at the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo, or you can also join. We'll try that again.
Look at you go. We're all learning something, aren't we?
Well, I know how to do it. I just prefer you do it, so when it's not done right, it's your problem. You know, you've seen all the signs of foundation movement, but you haven't had it checked yet. Why not? It's not going to get better by itself. When you want the best, you call Due West, and I really don't like that one. Hi, I'm Jim Dutton, host of Texas Home Improvement. You may have seen me in videos like Rolls Downhill, Don't push your finger into that light socket. Somebody's gotta really love their coffee.
Heck yeah. We put 3 of these in a bathroom one time.
In a bathroom?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Why would you put 3?
He really likes coffee. Loves it.
This wasn't a commercial install. This was in a house.
Home, yep. In a home.
He couldn't get it out of one fast enough?